What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, the other day I did a video talking about how I thought Dame Lillard was being wasted in Portland. And this was after his 55-point, 10-assist performance. So, game 6, Portland blows a 14-point lead and ultimately lose 126-115. And I mean, when you look at some of the numbers, man, I don't remember what they finished shooting at, but I remember at one point I was looking at the numbers, and Portland was shooting 57% from the floor, 48% from three, and almost 90% from the foul line, and yet you lose. You still lose the game. There has to be a huge shakeup in Portland. I'm sorry, they got to get rid of a lot of these dudes, man. The first guy to go, C.J. McCollum. He got to get the fuck up out of there. Okay. Some of these other dudes that they signed up, I can't think of their names. They need to get the fuck up out of there. It's too much hero ball. As I've said before, I don't like a lineup where it's just two, high volume perimeter guys jacking up threes. I don't like historically high scoring point guards being your number one option that much. It doesn't usually work. One of the lone examples is 2015. Yes, Steph Curry led the NBA in scoring that year, but that team was still with the ball movement, with the other pieces, with the defense, that bench. You still had Clay on that team averaging like 22 or something like that. That was a lone exception. They still ultimately didn't win the title that year. I think Dame is either going to get traded based upon his tweet showing his frustration. I can't remember exactly what his tweet said, but basically it was alluding to like, how long is he going to keep dealing with putting in all this work every year in his game and his craft and ultimately not even getting out of the playoffs, no matter how much he puts out there, no matter how much, he contributes, it's like it's not enough. And we've seen Dame go on these stretches where he's averaging 40 points a game, where he's averaging 35 in a month, where he's put up back-to-back 50-point games or averaging 40 for the week. And it's like it's still not enough. The problem is this. When you get to the playoffs, right, and you're a jump shooter like Dame Lillard is, and you're a masterful jump shooter, you're still going to have games where you're not shooting the lights out. Case in point, last night I think Dame was, I can't remember what he finished with, but I think he shot under 50%. Like I think it was like 9 for 20 something or something like that. I can't remember the exact. It wasn't close to 50%. The CJ, he's another guy that's usually around 43, 44% shooting. And when you have no defense and you're not stopping anybody, look, the Nuggets didn't have Barton or Murray, and they still won that series. This team is just not going to cut it. Dame either is going to. I kind of agree with Town Biz. Shout out to Town Biz. If you're not subscribed to Town Biz, please subscribe to Town Biz. I think Dame may be destined because I think he's frustrated, but I don't think he's going to leave. I don't think it's in him. I think he's one of these guys that wants to win on his own terms. However, like you see with Isaiah Thomas, right? And like you saw with Oscar, and like you saw with any great point guard, Nate Archibald, when he went to the Boston Celtics. They didn't start winning until they began to get help and when they became more facilitators who, when need be, could go back to being that dominant scorer in certain stretches of the game when it was needed. Isaiah could be that cold-blooded assassin in the fourth quarter when the offense wasn't working, no one was getting any, nobody was making any shots. He had to go back to that. Before that, he's a playmaker. He's running the offense. He's been a floor general. But then, when need be, he could go back to that. That to me would be Dame Lillard's best fucking bet, man. If he could just, Portland may not be the answer. If they come back, look, if I see that they rehire Terry Stotts, if I'm Dame, fuck this shit. Trade me. Trade me. I'm 30 years old. I've already wasted much of my career playing here. There was so many years I've been playing here. I wasn't even a fucking all-star, putting up 25, 26, 27 points a game. Okay, because the fans don't know what the fuck they're voting for. They rather vote for fucking Lonzo Ball or something like that as an all-star rather than actually watching the game and voting for people. If that's the case, man, Dame may have to just go elsewhere. Um, I saw one commenter, I think on Tickets Channel, say maybe going to the Knicks or something like that. That could be intriguing. But yeah, ultimately, man, if Portland don't want to make any real moves, yeah, Dame may have to go elsewhere, man. I know he wants to win championships on his own terms and be the man, and it just depends on how badly does he want to win, you know, because he's getting to that age, and you saw it didn't work in Houston with James Harden, and James Harden had a lot of more talent around him than Dame Lillard did, and like I said, Dame is just being wasted up there in Portland, and even Bill Walton, the great player that he was for 3 years before injuries just fucked him up. He had an ensemble team there in Portland that won a championship. So it takes a team. One great player can't carry a team to a championship on the NBA level. So it's a lot of question marks in Portland right now. So tell me what you guys think.